If you want to fight the machine, don't move to the right. People in politics and media who oppose the status quo often drift rightward, especially in the US. Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. are some clear recent examples, but you see it happen all the time. This is because the Trumpian political wing offers mainstream power and influence to those with an anti-establishment streak, while mainstream progressive politics doesn't offer anything close. If you're a right-wing populist, you can get elected president, while anyone to the left of Kamala Harris sees their campaigns sabotaged with smears and rigged primaries. We see a similar dynamic play out in independent media. You'll see many solidly leftist commentators drifting to the right as they find bigger numbers in attacking liberal institutions than attacking the Trumpian faction, because anti-establishment sentiment is much more mainstream on the right. A much larger audience pool has been allowed to amass there for hostility toward establishment institutions, because the right poses no threat to the powerful. And therein lies the key point. Anti-establishment figures in politics and punditry aren't drifting rightward because the right has better arguments or is more solidly grounded in truth and morality. They're drifting rightward because the so-called populist right has been allowed to flourish while its mirror on the left has not. Right-wing populism has been allowed to flourish by the very power structures its proponents purport to oppose, while the authentic left has been systematically dismantled by generations of aggressive imperial operations. Look up COINTELPRO, for example. That's why you see Trump backed by oligarchs, empire managers, and DC swamp monsters, and see Trumpism uplifted by the Murdoch press, while anti-imperialist socialism can barely be said to even exist anywhere in the US-aligned world. So while the power and influence offered by right-wing populist factions can be tempting, that power and influence only exists because those factions are supported and defended by the empire itself. Public discontent is being corralled toward establishment-friendly political structures so that it doesn't head anywhere that can threaten the mechanics of the empire, while authentic opposition to capitalism, militarism, and empire building is viciously subverted by any means necessary. Bernie Sanders and AOC play the same role on the other side of the aisle, by the way, as do ostensibly leftist media like TYT, who herd people back into support for the Democratic Party. Real opposition to real power is not permitted to ascend to the presidency of the world's most powerful government. It is marginalized, smeared, and subverted, and kept as small as possible. That's why some who begin with sincere opposition to real power find themselves drawn to the right. It's larger and offers more opportunities, because it is more aligned with the ruling power structures of our day. It's fool's gold. It sells you power and influence so you can fight the power, but after you've made that bargain, you find yourself on the same side as the power. You sold out for nothing. You might as well have skipped the middle part and gone directly to collecting the big bucks, whoring yourself out to mainstream politics and media defending the empire without pretending to be something else. Staying true and authentic can be hard. It comes at a price. You don't get to see your favorite politicians win elections and take important positions in government. You don't get to amass tens of millions of loyal followers who hang on your every word. You lose friends and alienate family members with your positions on war and capitalism and imperialism and Zionism. You can't even watch a movie or show without being frequently disgusted by the empire propaganda you'll see. It isn't pretty, but at least it's real. It's another one of those red pill versus blue pill deals. Do you want disconcerting truths or comforting lies? If you want to be true to what's true, you don't compromise your values to support political factions which help prop up the very power structures you oppose. You stay focused on the enemy. You keep throwing sand in the gears of the machine, hoping that if enough people throw enough sand, it will eventually come crashing down, but self-assured that you're going to keep throwing sand either way, win or lose. Sure, it's hard. Sure, it entails a lot of disappointments and losses. But at least it's real. at least it stands a chance at beating the bastards, however small. As weak and pathetic as you can feel throwing haymakers at a globe-spanning empire some days, it still beats the hell out of collaborating with it. And that's exactly what you'd be doing by joining up with fraudulent political factions which claim to oppose the empire.